Hi, Dr. Paul Haider here. You know what? I see healings taking place that go beyond what our normal scope of understanding is. A lot of times people have all kinds of things, from cancer to kidney disease to ALS to all kinds of different, bodily problems. And I find the ones that really believe they're going to get better, they get better. There's no doubt about that. And the ones that have doubts don't seem to get better as quickly. Some of them get better, but not as quickly as some of the other. And so it has a lot to do with what we believe will happen. There have been studies showing that if a doctor believes you're going to get better, you'll get better about 60% of the time. And if the doctor doesn't believe you're going to get better and you believe you're going to get better, then you get better about 40% of the time. And if the doctor and you believe that you're going to get better, then you get better about 100% of the time or even more. So our beliefs have a lot to do with who we are and how we manage our ability to heal, our inner healer. And, that God resides in each and every one of us. And it's pretty powerful. If a person actually sits in a room and they have a whole bunch of people praying for them, miraculous things can happen. People with cancer, with metastasis all over their lungs, and all of a sudden they're gone. And it also has to do with our ability to see beyond and into a light of goodness in all things. And a lot of times we have a feeling that, especially if you ever met somebody who was cranky and hard to get along with, and they always have chronic arthritis or chronic this or chronic that going on, it's kind of giving you an idea of what's going on the inside. It's kind of a chronic inflammation of the process of their feelings and thinking going on. And our unconscious beliefs have a lot to do with what we're healing, if we're healing or not. Because a lot of times if we have this unconscious feeling that I'm not deserving, or I don't deserve to have this on a regular basis, then we don't heal. Or if we have some kind of belief that we, perhaps as a child were abused or neglected or something, and we have this feeling of being less than, then we sometimes don't heal. And we have to allow ourselves to start finding that deep inner peace and that joy which we reflect out into the rest of the world. Have you ever seen people who are so joyful and happy, and they don't have a care in the world, and they don't really seem to have a disease going on or anything? And when we allow ourselves to have compassion for others and joy for others and want to go out and help them in selfless sacrifice, a lot of people, you ever seen them be like 90 and 100, and they just look so much younger than the rest of the people because they're giving out there and helping people? I remember one particular person in California, and this lady was in her 90s, and she was going out and helping older people, younger old people, by taking them to the doctor and taking them, wherever they need therapy and different things. And she just never quit. She just kept going because she had this joyful feeling inside. And that's important. And things like healing kidney disease, I remember one particular man always having this doubt that he is ever going to be healed. And of course this chronic lingering of the kidney disease going on and on and on. Whereas other people, well, I'm going to get better. There's no doubt about it. And all of a sudden, boom, they're better. And over my time of sending people to see Dr. Nemi in Cleveland, a great healer, and he healed. I've sent a lot of people to him, and a lot of people have been healed. And the ones that really heal are the ones that have some kind of belief system in place that, you know, miracles can happen and things can change. There was one man in particular, I remember, had kidney disease, and he just didn't have any beliefs or faith of any kind, but he did go to church, but he just really didn't connect with what was going on there. And then when he got sick and he had a really high creatinine, he had the whole congregation gather around him and start praying for him, and at that moment there was just a shift in his beliefs, and he started getting better. And his creatinine went way down. I mean, just like overnight. And it was a powerful thing for him, and all of a sudden he started participating more in his group, spiritual group, and it made a life-shifting change in his life, not only in the disease, but also in his mindset and happiness and joy. And so it's really powerful when you see that happen. And I've seen some other people who have kidney disease, and they've gone back 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 times in fact, and they've incrementally gotten better by seeing Dr. Nemi. So our faith is really important when we come to healing, or the lack of. And there's sometimes people who have a spiritual feeling inside, way down deep, just spontaneously heal, but they don't really have any, outward faith of any kind. But it's that God within that lives in us, whether it be Christ or Ramana, or Divine Mother, or Sai Baba, or Buddha, or any of the other great avatars that have come in the past. That allows us to heal in a great way and allows us to find peace. And it's peace is there. I was just talking with somebody on the other side of the world yesterday, and this young man is always using his mind. He's always thinking, and he wonders why he has a guttache most of the time. Well, this mind is like a pipe wrench, It's a tool. And do you see a plumber walk around with his pipe wrench all the time? Some of them are almost 2 or 3 feet long. That's pretty heavy. And as a plumber, I'd get tired of holding that pipe wrench all the time. No, they put it back in their toolbox. And so the same thing with this tool. And we use it when we need to use it, and then we concentrate on the divine, God's name, or saying a prayer, doing a rosary, doing prayer beads, or meditation, some way of cleansing the mind. So we find this peace and we find this joy that's from the inside out. I was just talking to a man who was very depressed and constantly using his mind and not really have any beliefs of any kind, and that really pulls him down. He feels sad. But once he finally opened up and said, you know what, there's something else out there, something more important, something bigger, and I'm part of that, all of a sudden he started to feel joyful. And we can all have that. We can all feel joy. We can all feel love. In fact, a friend I know was walking in California, and this man was lost, and she came up to him and said, "Can I help you?" And said, "I'm looking for this apartment complex." And he said, "Well, I think it's right over there." And he said, "No, that's not the right one." So he went on his way, and she felt bad about it, but I couldn't find him. And so she got in her car and wandered around. She finally found the complex, but went back to find him and couldn't find him anywhere. And she was feeling sad. She called me and said, "What do you think about that?" I was feeling sad about it. And I said, "Well, everything happens for a reason. Maybe that he's supposed to get lost for a while so he could find somebody that's really important in his life, or connect with somebody, or maybe he's not supposed to show up for a few minutes." Everything is happening on a divine level, and that goes also with our healing. Sometimes we are supposed to go through particular stresses in our life or particular amounts of pain in order to allow the Kundalini energy or the divine energy, or some say the Holy Spirit, to finally emerge from us. And about the only way that that can get our attention sometimes is with the old 2x4 effect, you know? So it wakes us up one way or another. The 2x4 effect of life. And we're supposed to go through these particular things, and so we awaken our spirit. And that spirit inside is the only thing important. This is a covering that we wear. And the awakening of the spirit inside is what's important. And a lot of people have forgotten that only the spirit's important. The body is something we take care of while we're here, but the learning process of the spirit is everything. And so our beliefs have everything to do with healing. I love you.